Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha. I'm Planted in Platinum. You can find me over on TikTok and Instagram for more planty content. In today's video, we're going to be going through all of my plant room updates. Now, I have not posted in a hot minute, but I have had lots of new growth in my jungle, lots of new inflows. I have a new plant to show you, lots of new leaves, some fresh repots. We are going to go through all of the things. So grab your coffee, get cozy, or grab some plant chores, and let's get right into it. All right, we are gonna start on my desk. It's really dark because I had to take the lights away to put my chair here to show you guys the things, but this is my acrobar greenhouse. I wanna go through some updates on that, but I'm gonna start with the plants around the greenhouse. Recently, I added another piece of wood to my Rhaphidophora heyi. I was gonna put this on a moss pole, excuse the shadow, but I was lazy that day and I just wanted to get it done. It was growing over the wood, as you can see where the split is there. I just taped it together because I couldn't find any like Gorilla Glue or anything, and it's been growing. We're getting a new leaf right now, which is super, super pretty. I love this plant so much. I think it's so pretty. And recently I also put a piece of my Rhaphidophora heyi variegated in with my begonia. Which one is it? My begonia chloristicta. I made a little terrarium for it and I think it turned out so cute. So this is the mama. She is growing good, looking nice, and I'm so excited for her to get to the top. I want to see how big of an upsize her leaves get. Like, they already are upsizing, if you can tell from the bottom. And as you go up, that leaf at the top is the biggest. So I think it's super pretty. I'm really looking forward to seeing how much bigger the leaves get on this. I've never seen like a mature one, so I don't know how big the leaves get, but I think it's gonna be really, really cool. This is a bad update. My Monstera lechleriana is not happy. So her leaves are super curled, all of them. She is not looking so hot. I don't see any roots, so I think I might have to pull this out and see if maybe it got root rot. I just haven't got to it yet. But bad things happen with our plants sometimes, and those are part of my updates. I'm not too sure if I have any more bad updates to show you, but this is probably the worst in my plant room. Yeah, she is not a happy gal, so I'm gonna take her out and give this a good look over and see what the status of the roots is, because I really like this plant a lot and I really want her to grow. So I don't know. Girl is mad at me. Next, we'll go through all the plants that were in my acrobar greenhouse. This is my NSE Dressleri F1 from NXC Plants, and she is happy. There is a nice juicy root going all the way to the bottom. Let's see if there's any other roots I can see. Nothing yet, but that root makes me happy, and it looks like she might be pushing a leaf soon. It'll be hard to see. Just at the bottom there. I know that these are quite slow, but yeah. And I think I also have her in too bright light, so I might end up going ahead and putting her in my grow tent because there's some darker spots in there, so she might be happier in there, but for now, she's living in my acrobar greenhouse and I love her so much. She was one of my top wish list plants and I still can't believe that I picked this up. That is crazy. So it's nice to see her rooting up nicely in there and loving the pond life. But there's no huge updates on her except for she's rooting, which is actually a huge update, so I guess it is. Next up is this cutie. Okay, I'm trying to remember the ID of this. I should have labeled it. I think it is a Crystal Hope crossed with a Mag Pap, if I'm correct. This was from my friend Jen. And look, she has a new leaf, which is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love her. You can see she has a nice fresh root right there. Oh my goodness. And she's rooting out the bottom. So I might have to give this girl a repot soon. She's happy in there. That makes me so happy. I'm excited to see this one grow up. She is so pretty. This is my Dark Phoenix crossed with Self. And this one is from Hector at the Urban Foliage. Look at that new leaf, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy that this thing came back to life. And look, it's got lots of roots in there, which is also very positive. Yeah, I think that this thing is very happy, which makes me very happy. because this is one of my favorite plants, and I almost cooked it alive with my heater in my tent. So it's nice to see her coming back to life and looking good and being happy. And this here is one of my tofu gedii from Alice. You don't even grow here. I have 3 of them. So this one is super cute. I chose to put her in my acrobar greenhouse just to see what she would do. I really love the venation on this guy, and it looks like he's gonna be quite dark when he gets older. The leaf is coming out pretty dark, so I'm very curious to see how this one goes. It has not given me a new leaf at all, but we do have roots in there. You can see one right there, which is really exciting. So I'm sure she'll give me a new leaf in no time. I just have to be patient. And then we have my plantedinplatinum, and I don't think this one has given me a new leaf. I don't think so. Maybe this one here, actually. This one looks kind of new, but I'm not sure. It looks like there's one coming in, though, in the back there, which is really exciting. And I got this one from Mackenzie, pretty planty. And I see a nice juicy root up at the top there. Do we see any more? No, I don't, but that's okay. At least I see a root. She is looking cute. I am obsessed with the leaf shape of this plant. I think that it is so pretty, and I would absolutely love to make some hybrids with this one day. That would be so cool. I've always wanted to cross this with a forgetti eye, and I know somebody is. I just can't remember who. I was chatting with someone in Lauren's live sales and the NST live sales, and they actually have a cross of this going on. So that will be really cool to see how it progresses. But like, look at that root on the top. It's so cool if you can see it without me spilling pond and water everywhere. Right here. It's pretty interesting. I might have to cover it with some more pond. I'm just really glad that it's rooting. It is pretty humid in the greenhouse though, so I'm not too worried about it. But yes, I do love my little plantedinplatinum. She's so cute. All right, next up I want to show you guys an update on my little checkered table. There's lots of new things going on here, which I'm really excited to show you guys. I think we'll start off with my variegated micans. So, this one isn't the greatest update. I mean, she is still alive and well, but girl is trying to revert on me. So I think we're gonna have to chop this plant up and maybe go down to the last variegated leaf. So it would be this one here. So if I chop right here and take these top leaves off and individually propagate them, maybe I can get some variegation off of those too, but I don't know. But I just really want to try to get some variegation back on this plant, so I am going to chop it back. This was one of the plants I purchased as an investment plant for 2024, and I just really wanted to grow some nice variegated leaves. So that'll be a project for another day, but that one is coming up. And then we have this beauty. This is my Solanum Julianum, and this one is from my friend Alexis, Yogi Blossom. It's so pretty. I don't think the light is going to show you how pretty it really is. It is purple and velvety and so pretty. This one is more known to be a terrarium plant, but I've seen people grow it in very bright light conditions in ambient, and theirs looks amazing. So I am doing the same, and she is loving it. So I got her super tiny, had her in like a high humidity enclosure. She wasn't doing the greatest. She wasn't doing so good until I took her out and put her in ambient and just let her be. She is so gorgeous, and the backs of her, like, she is so purple. How pretty is that? And you guys, she is so fuzzy. Oh my goodness. I feel very grateful to be able to have the chance to grow this plant, and I can't wait to see what she does. I think she is going to end up quite big, and yeah, this little vine just keeps growing. Like, look at these cutie new little leaves growing. How cute is that? They just come out so tiny and then they grow so big. I just love it. My pink princess has given me this new leaf here. I mean, it does have some pink on it, as you can see, but not too much. But the previous leaf to that was this one, which has a bit more pink on it, which is pretty. But she does have potential. You see that leaf there? That is the leaf that I want to see more of on this plant. So hopefully, I mean, she might need a moss pole or something. She did the Cinderella slipper on this leaf and just like wrecked herself. So that leaf went. and then gave me this leaf with the pink at the bottom and then this leaf here. But if you look at the back, look how pink the variegation is on the back. Like, that is so crazy. I don't know. I've never been like super interested in pink princesses, but I do love pink plants, and I would like to see this one do that on more leaves. I think that would be super pretty. We shall see how it goes. Any pink princess tips, please send them my way. But this is my philodendron pink princess. In one of my most recent videos, we took my alocasia cuprea out of her aeroid mix and we water rooted her. So what happened was her old roots, they died off. So I pulled them off, and look at all of these new water roots she's given me, like so many of them. So I do have to pot her up, and I want to pot her into pon. She gave me, this was her newest leaf here, and she unfurled it while water rooting, and it looks great. Like, it's not huge or anything, but it is super pretty. I love this plant so much. I know it's pretty common, but I think it's so unique for an alocasia. I just want like a big, huge alien head alocasia plant with like 12 leaves. That would be like my goal. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but that is something that I would love to do. But her new leaves are so shiny and pretty, and like, wow. If you don't have this plant, go get it. I know this one prefers not as bright of light as your typical alocasia. So I don't have her in super bright light, but I want to have her in enough light where she's actually going to grow for me, which I think was my problem before. I don't think that she liked being in super low light. So I've upped her light a little bit, and I've taken her out of her aeroid mix, and she's grown me all those beautiful roots. Now I just need to pot her up. Update on my epipremnum tricolor, I believe this one was. It is actually not a tricolor. It is an epipremnum bumpy. You can tell by the texture of the leaves. I think it's going to be really hard to show you, but I'm going to try. They're like very textured. If you feel it, it's like, it's bumpy. So there's raised venation on throughout the whole entire leaf. And this is such a beautiful plant. Like, you can see the texture more in that new leaf. Like, look how cool that is. So I do already have one of these upstairs, but I'm just going to grow this one for now and see how it does. Or if anybody wants to do a trade and you're in Canada, hit your girl up, give me a message on Instagram, and we will work something out. Because I definitely don't need two, but these ones are so pretty. Like, I really do love how bumpy they are. I think that they are super cool and super fun if you like textured plants. So this is my epipremnum tricolor. This one I should have been attaching to the moss pole, but I have not been doing that. My bad. I need to do that. So I'm going to take her off of here and probably chop her down a bit, and then maybe I'll put her on a bigger moss pole. I'm not too sure, but she is pretty. I do really like her. And she was a gift from my friend Gems. I think she has quite a bit of potential if you can see those lower leaves. But her newest leaf doesn't have too much variegation. Okay, the last update on this checkered table is going to be my philodendron El Choco Red, or Rubra Juvenile as it was reclassified to. I recently moved her out of my tent. I was having a really hard time with her. She kept doing the Cinderella slipper thing, but like poking herself through other leaves, and it was just like a hot mess. But look at her now, like, she looks so good. She's unfurling this leaf in ambient with no issues at all. Her pole has tree fern and moss in it, and look how good she's rooted in there, you guys. Like, she is doing so, so good. That makes me so happy. I love this plant so much. I think it is so beautiful. Those big round heart-shaped leaves are everything. I think they're so pretty. And then the red on the backs of the leaves, like, what? This is one that I've always wanted to grow, but I have had a really hard time growing. She actually, when I took her out of my tent, there was this huge spider web all over her, and I was like, oh my God, she has spider mites, but it was actually a spider. There was a spider in my tent guarding my little planties, so I had to be very careful when I removed her from my tent. I don't want to disrupt my little guard spider. But yes, she is looking good. She's so pretty. And her new leaf is coming out fine and ambient, which I was really worried about. But yeah, she's just living her best life out here under my grow light, and I can't wait to extend this pole. Hopefully I can get a really big one like Fern's was. Oh my goodness, her El Choco Red was so beautiful, and I would die if I could do the same thing with mine. Philodendron El Choco Red. And since we're here, we may as well do my little table to the right of me. There's 3 plants on there. You can't really see them really good from here, but it's really hard to get good lighting. So I'm just gonna sit here and show you them. So, oh, I guess this one is another not great update. So this is the philodendron, no, this is the anthurium luxurians, the new babe that I added to my jungle, my friend Gems. We have a breeding program and she sent this one over because we pollinated the inflow of the big luxurians. So this is to be a secondary one to collect pollen from so that we can pollinate more Lux hybrids. And she just kept dropping leaves, you guys. Like, she dropped like 3 leaves and I was really worried she was gonna drop this last leaf, but she hasn't. She's looking good. She's got that kind of yellow up in the top corner. No new signs of new growth yet, but hopefully soon. Hopefully. I was so scared that I was gonna lose this plant. She's so pretty. I just have her in tree fern and pond. I don't see any roots yet, but there's a lot of algae, which is crazy because I just repotted this not too long ago. And just like in a water reservoir at the bottom. Yes, so we're gonna hope for some good updates from this in the future. Anthurium luxurians. This here is my Lubecia electric pink that I got from Cafeteria and Greens, and she loves her little life here. She's giving me this new leaf. I don't have her in a terrarium either. I just have her in ambient, and as long as you don't give them too much light, I think that they're fine. It's hard to show you, but you can see the pink border around her older leaf there? Like, how cool is that? Like, it's almost magenta. I think this plant is so cool and so unique and so different, and I've always wanted to try my hand at the Lubecia species. So this one seems to be growing okay for me. I might, in the future, purchase some more just to see how I do with them. I think that they're so cool. And like, do you see the border on that leaf? It's like white. When it hardens off, it's going to harden off to a beautiful pink color. And the last plant I have on that table is my variegated Monstera Peru, the slowest growing plant I think that I own. This plant does not grow very fast. I do want to take her out of her aeroid mix. She's been in here for a while. You can see roots on the bottom of the pot. So I think she's ready for a repot, and I do want to switch her over to a different mix, like either pon or tree fern and pon. I'm not sure yet. But I love this plant so much. Like, the variegation on the variegated Monstera Peru is so cool. I think this plant is so cool though. Like, look at the variegation on the plant. It's just so bright and waxy and shiny. I think it's so pretty. And then you have leaves like that where it's like painted on like a feather. Oh my goodness. Like, that is so pretty. And then this one here, like, the yellow does like to burn off. So I added silica to this and it seems to be like working. So hopefully it gives you Polaroid variegation. So when the leaf comes out, it's hard to see the variegation. And then when it hardens off, it's that bright yellow color. So this one's still in the process. And then this is her newest leaf, which you can see what I mean. You can't see the variegation on that. I think it might be a half moon, but we'll see. But yes, Monstera Peru variegated. It is my goal to one day grow a big, beautiful species of this because I think it is such a beautiful plant. Okay, next we have my cabinet downstairs here. It has lots of things. We'll start with the top. I have this trailing micans that I want to start to trail down my shelf, and it is growing, so that's exciting. She's looking good. She is going to cascade down my shelf and look super beautiful. I know that micans don't mind being grown in lower light conditions. Like, the lower the light, the darker the leaves will be. So I think that is the perfect plant to put up there. And yeah, she's doing super good. I have a micans upstairs too on a circular trellis, and she's in lower light and she's just loving her life. But she kind of looks silly now, but one day she's gonna trail down my beautiful shelf, and I'm so excited. And this is my Ripsalis hybrid. There's 2 different ones in here. We have this smaller leafed hybrid, and then we have like the larger leaves that you can see up there. She has just been growing like a weed. I recently chopped her, and yeah, she's just loving life. She's just growing like a weed. I chop her up for the markets that I go to just to have some variation in the plants that I bring. I know lots of people aren't super into aroids, so I like to have like begonias and Ripsalis and Hoyas and whatever else, but I thought she was a fun one to add to the market collection. But it's so cool to see her trailing. I love that. Maybe she'll trail down my shelf as well if I stop chopping her. This is my Alocasia Okinawa Silver. Let me see if I can find her newest leaf. This one here. This is her newest leaf. She's pretty big, and she just has a couple speckles of variegation, if you can see that there. But she has also got a lot of leaves that are turning a bit yellow, so I don't know if she needs a repot or if I overwatered her or what, but like you can see here, she's yellowing, and here, whoop, here, she's also yellowing as well, and here, this one's yellowing as well. So I think I might have overwatered her one day because I always just dump water in her. She literally just lives on the top of my cabinet, but she's getting so big, I don't know what to do with her. I just love, some of her leaves are so cool though. Like look at that one, the shape, and then that variegation is so pretty, and this one too. Like wow, I love this plant, and I low-key need to get something in there to support her better because she's leaning over, and one day I know she's just gonna fall right off my shelf. But she's in a very heavy pot of pon, and her roots look really good, so I'm not super concerned about it. But I don't know what I'm gonna do when she gets super big. Like I think I might harvest her forms eventually and maybe grow out a new plant and let this one go. I'm not too sure. Or maybe I can find a better spot for her too. I'd like to get one that's a little bit more variegated than this. Like there are some pretty leaves, but throughout the whole plant, like there's more green than there is variegation. So yeah, I don't know. I think I might sell this big plant off after I collect the corms and see what I can grow from them. It'd be cool to have a more variegated Alocasia Okinawa Silver. She's so pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think she has 13 leaves, so that's pretty awesome. But you can see she just like splays over, which kind of makes me nervous. But just gonna let her be for now. And her leaf always gets stuck when I close my cabinet. It always gets stuck in the top. I always forget every time. I think that's it for the top of the cabinet. Now we can go inside of the cabinet. Okay, let's start off with some updates from the plants that Ciara sent me, my friend. These plants are so adorable. This is my variegated Walliniana, and as you can see, she is growing many new leaves. She's so pretty. I kind of want to throw her in my sunstress tent and see if she gives me some pink and what her leaf shape changes to. It might turn into more of a circular leaf. I'm not too sure, but I do want to experiment with this one. But she's living happily in there for now, so I'm just going to leave her. I don't see too many roots in there, which is another reason why I just kind of want to let her be and see if she can root out good, and then maybe I'll take a cutting and put it in my tent, or I'll put the whole plant in my tent. I'm not too sure yet. I just don't want to lose her if she gets burned, you know? So we shall see. We shall see. And then my variegated Bretonnier from her. Like, look how pretty that is. The new growth is so beautiful. It's pink, like wow, and fuzzy, super fuzzy. I think that's so pretty. I love the Bretonnier. It's got like this semi-fuzz, and it just feels kind of like a bear paw succulent almost. It's so pretty. And do you see roots with her? Not really, but it wasn't too long ago that I potted them up, so I'm just being patient and waiting, and hopefully I can see roots all over the place soon. And then I have these Lacunosa mint coins that I got from her. Here, I'll show you one at a time. It'll be way easier. This one just gave me this big, beautiful leaf, and it's so minty. I know a lot of you said that it didn't look like the mint coin when I took it out of my humidity box after it was done rooting, and I potted it up and I put it in light and it turned silver again. So it must just be a humidity issue that makes the silver fade away to green. So if you're having trouble with your silver Hoyas, I suggest lowering the humidity. But look how pretty that is. I am low-key obsessed with this one. I think it is so gorgeous. And this one hasn't done much. Honestly, these two plants both rotted a lot of the leaves, so I must have overwatered it or something. I'm not sure. But it made me sad and I was scared to lose them, but they seem like they're doing okay. Like this one hasn't died. The leaves are still attached firmly, and the other one is giving me new growth. So I think we're over that period, but I do see a root in there, which is promising too. So that means they're starting to root up, which is really nice. And this one actually has a root down there, so that's good. We're getting some root action. That's exciting. I don't have all of the Hoyas that she sent me in our trade in this cabinet, but I do have some upstairs, which I'll show you another time. This is my mutated gloriosum, mutated variegated. I'm not sure what they are calling it these days, but it gave me this beautiful leaf, and that is so pretty, and it's such a size up from the last one, and it's rooting really good in here. You can see roots on the side, and there's a big chonky root in the top there. So I do want to get this one out of here. It's also pushing a new leaf in there, which is hard to see. But yeah, I want to get her out of here and get her potted up and watch her take off. You can see there's like a pink, oh, you can't. There's, her vein is pink down the middle. It's so pretty. I wonder if that fades off as it grows or if it stays. We shall see. I'm not too sure, but yes, this one is so pretty. I am loving it. And then we have my red Anderson. Oh, I love this plant so much. But the new leaf looks like it's either getting stuck or having a hard time unfurling. And it also looks to be super variegated, so maybe it will turn out like a half moon. Well, that one's not really a half moon, but you know what I mean, like more of the pinky white. Hopefully it's not a full moon like this one. This one's trying to curl up and take itself out, I think. But I do really like this plant. I've struggled growing it since I've had it for a couple of years, but I hope that it just starts growing fine for me like my El Choco Red did. I think it's a philodendron thing. They just take a while until they've matured to start growing properly, which is super annoying, but sometimes it's well worth the wait. And this is my strawberry shake. I mean, she is so pretty, but her leaves are way too variegated. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really hope that this plant chooses to grow some more green leaves, like the baby ones you can see at the bottom have a little bit of green on them, but she cannot keep growing all variegated. She cannot. And then I overwatered her and the variegated parts started browning off a bit. So of course that had to happen. But let's see if we can see any roots in here. Oh yeah, there's a root right there, which is going to be hard for you to see because of my lights. But yeah, you can see a little bit of roots in there, so that's positive. But she just needs to not be so variegated, and then I'll be happy. My little black velvet that I grew from corn just popped this big leaf out, like compared to the other ones it's big. That was the leaf previous to it. You can see the other ones are super small. But she just grew this big one for me, which I love so much. I would love to get the variegated, the pink variegated black velvet one day. My friend does have corbs for sale, but they're quite expensive. It's just generally an expensive plant to obtain. So I'm just gonna wait on that. I know I can grow black velvet's good. This isn't my first one. This is a corm from my big mama I used to have that I sold off. I tend to grow alocasias big and then harvest the corms and sell the big mama plant just to make space. But black velvet is one of my favorites. I think it's so beautiful, and she needs out of this pond glass so bad. So I'm gonna have to repot her one day as well. And yeah, hopefully she does okay when I repot her. And this is the luxuriance chonk that we chopped, and you can see she has a red growth point right there. So she is going to sprout. I know a lot of chonk leaves don't typically, a lot of chonk roots don't typically make it. Honestly, I don't even know why I leave them on. If I see healthy roots, I like the plant to have something to work with. So I'm really happy to see that, and I think she's gonna sprout soon, so that's exciting. I'll keep you guys posted on her. And then we have this Hoya AH0734, which I told you has been a problem child for me. Did we have roots? Yeah, we do. We do have some roots in there, which you can kind of see. So that's good, but she's still not growing, so I don't know. There is a dried up vine on the top, which I'm gonna have to chop off, and maybe that will spark some new growth on her. I'm not too sure. But this is one of my favorite Hoyas, and I just want her to grow so bad. So bad. So I'm not too sure. If you guys have this one, let me know what your care routine is like because I want her to thrive. I have had nothing but trouble with her, so it would be nice to finally get her looking nice. In the bottom, I moved my silver dragon in there. I thought she would appreciate more light. And look at that beautiful new leaf she gave me. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And all of her leaves have like these little cute patches of sport variegation on them. There's one there and kind of a bit at the top there. It's hard to see. Get them there. And her other leaf does as well. You can see. And this one even does. Is that the one I just showed you? I don't know. But yeah, all of her leaves have like a hint of sport variegation, which I think is super unique and pretty. And then we have this beautiful new leaf. So I'm excited to see how that hardens off. She is just in tree fern and pond. She's got roots to the bottom, which is good. I'm just gonna leave her in here. Honestly, this is another plant that I have struggled with is the silver dragon alocasia and just the jewel alocasias in general. I find they don't like as much water as your typical alocasia. So I try not to water them too often and not to keep them too wet. My cute little pot. Love it so much. But this is my Burl Marks mint, which I water rooted because the roots were not looking good on it. And look, we have got lots of good looking healthy roots. So I'm going to be potting this up soon. And there's also so many growth points at the bottom of that. Burl Marks, oh my goodness, they grow crazy. So we're still having a hard time seeing the mint, but the plant is just young. So I'm hoping it didn't revert. That's the newest leaf. Can't see any mint on there, I don't think, unless it's one that's kind of like the Polaroid variegation. I'm not too sure. But this is one that I'm really, really excited to get on a pole and see what comes out of it. This is my friend's variegated Soligamiana, the begonia. I think that's what it's called, Soligium. No, it's not. I don't remember the name of this begonia, but it's supposed to be the variegated version and the leaves have not been coming out variegated. I do have quite a few pieces of it chopped up and we will go through those next, well, in a couple minutes and see what they're looking like. So I might chop this up some more and see if I can get some variegation out of it because Mama wants to revert, but she's so pretty. Look at her. Wow. And I don't know if you guys remember my parsley plant. This is my begonia Drage Malmo, and we took her out of her dome and she melted on me so fast. But I just left her. I didn't put a dome back on her and she's regrowing. So I think it was just a shock from coming out of her dome and now she's looking so much better. Yeah, I think the leaf shape is really interesting on this plant. See that? Different kind of, it's like almost like a duck foot or something. It looks really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna leave her. She's getting too tall now for my cabinet, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to put her. Maybe I'll put her in my windowsill and see how she does. I mean, my cabinet doesn't have extremely high humidity in it, so I'm not too worried about putting her in ambient. Maybe she'll shock again, but maybe she'll grow back even stronger. So we shall see. She kind of looks a little bit caca-y now, but that's because I have not pruned her leaves that kind of like melted. She actually doesn't look too bad on camera though. But if you like look at her, oh yeah, no. I guess she does look pretty good. That was a lie. I lied to you. I'm sorry. Begonia Drage Malmo. And then down on the bottom level of my shelf, I have this Adansonii aurea that I'm trying to get to grow out to be variegated. I had a plant, I had to chop it all up. Most of them are green. I've showed you guys before, but this is the one cutting that looks like it has potential. Like, do you see that lower leaf? How pretty is that? So I'm just keeping her, watering her, and hoping for the best. But yeah, she's just living in an aroid mix. Do we see roots? Oh yeah, there's a root coming out of the bottom, but it doesn't look the greatest. That's okay. I'll have to take a look at her after and chop that root off and see if I can. Maybe I'll give her a repot. I'm not too sure. But that new leaf is everything. I am obsessed. She's so pretty. So this is a propagation of my begonia Sinbad. And look how pink and pretty she is. All the way down to the bottom. And look at those roots. That is crazy. She is just something else. I was tempted to keep this one for myself, but we'll see. I do have another one, and she grows like a weed, and I don't eat every single begonia Sinbad cutting that I take. But I always find myself with a lot of these because I just love them. They are so pretty, like that pink little booty hole is so cute. And the leaves will actually come out pink, as you can see here. And in bright light, the actual leaves will turn pinky. So it's just a really fun one to have in your collection if you're a begonia collector. It flowers lots. Excuse my dog. It flowers lots and it grows super fast and it's super easy to propagate. Everybody needs a begonia Sinbad, I'm telling you. Okay, so this is my Monstera Albo, and you guys know I've had a hard time growing Monstera Albo, but she is looking so good. This is her newest leaf, which I am so happy with. Like, wow, what is that, you guys? I'm so happy. She is doing so good, and her newest leaf is gonna be so pretty. Look at that. It's gonna be super highly variegated, which I'm excited about. And on this side of the stem, it's more green, so I don't think it's gonna be super variegated, like too variegated, I mean, but I think it's gonna look so nice. This is more of like the marbly chunky variegation, and it has that minty color to it, which I love so much. I think that that mint is everything. It is just gorgeous. So she's just been growing really good in her little tree fern and moss mix. I don't see any roots in the pot, which kind of worries me. But she's got an aerial root right there going into the pot, and she has attached herself to the pole. So that is promising. If I have to, I can always chop her up, but I don't want to, so we shall see how that goes. But that is my Monstera Albo, and she's so happy. Next up is my Florida Beauty, and look at her. She is also doing well. This is her newest leaf. This plant has the greatest genetics. This was the top cut off of my big plant that I took. And you can see she has some half moon leaves, which kind of worried me because if you have a half moon plant, they might revert on you, but no. Girl just wanted to show me who was boss. Like, that is something else. I love this plant so much. This is the leaf I propagated her from. And yeah, she is just doing so well. I love her. She's so pretty, but she's getting these extra floral nectaries, which you can see the drip on that leaf there at the top. So I'm gonna have to rinse her off, and hopefully she doesn't burn any of the extra floral nectaries through her leaves, because that would make me so sad. But she's also giving me a new leaf as well. That is the one chore that I have a hard time keeping up with, is cleaning the extra floral nectaries off of my plants. It drives me nuts, but it's part of the philodendron life. And then in the corner, we have my Alocasia bisma, who is so pretty. Oh my goodness, I am obsessed with this plant. This is her newest leaf coming in. She's finally out of her inflow phase, which is so good because she just kept giving me inflows. Actually, she's got a couple growing. I should take those off, but I don't think they're ready to come off yet. So I'm just gonna leave her. And she's got a little offset on the side, which is right here. This leaf here, you can see. So that's cool, but she's attached. So I'm gonna have to wait till she has some good roots, if she doesn't already, and then separate her. But she kept giving me inflows, and then her leaves were using all of the energy for the inflows, so that I was getting lots of yellowing on the leaves, which was super annoying. But now she's finally starting to act right, which is making me so happy. This one is another jewel alocasia, which is, I think it's a jewel alocasia, which does not like much water, so I try not to keep her too watered. But it's hard because you have to give them just the right amount of water or they freak out. And they do this on the back of the leaves where they hold too much water in their tissues, and then you can see it on the front as well. I don't know if it's gonna come through on the camera. Not really, but you can see it, it's edema. It comes through on the front of the leaf as well. And if you're not careful, it will wreck the leaf. But if you have just overwatered it a little bit, it will just go away. So that is her. She is pretty, she's a star. I love her. And I love that silvery color. I think that that is to die for. And then we have my variegated domesticum, which is doing really good, but it just gave me this all variegated leaf. So hopefully that is the only one, but we shall see. Her new growth is looking pretty variegated too, so I don't know. Might have to chop her up, but she also has really pretty variegation. She's highly variegated. That leaf is pretty. That one there. That looks interesting. It kind of looks like my mutated gloriosum actually, which is cool. And this one too is really pretty. And then we've got the half moonies, which are also really pretty. But then we got the full moon, so that might mean it's time to chop her up. And she's also getting some extra floral nectaries as well. And I should reattach her to the pole because I don't know why she's off. Just like that. Perfect. And this is my Moodianum hybrid crossed with maybe crystallinum. I just took her out of my tent. I needed to make some space. She seems to be doing pretty good actually. I took her out about a month ago now, I think. And yeah, she hasn't skipped a beat, so that's good. She's giving me a new leaf right there, which I'm excited to see. And her new leaves are such a pretty color. So when it comes out, I will be sure to show you guys. But I really like this plant a lot. It's got like that rubbery texture, kind of like, almost like a Syngonium chiapense. So pretty, it's like kind of buttery. And her stems are pink, which is also really pretty. You can see her from the back. They come out kind of a pinky color, and this one kind of like held on to the pink at the top. Well, they all kind of have actually, which is really cool. She does have a really pretty pinky emergence, so I think that that's where that comes from. And this girl needs a repot. As you can see, she has got roots coming out of the bottom. And this is my new plant. She is a variegated Syngonium chiapense, which I have wanted for so long. But I watered her yesterday and I gave her edema. You guys can see it. I can see it. I hope you can see it. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to be very careful watering this plant. But she's also very highly variegated on her newest leaf, so that could also be why. But look at her older leaves. Not too much variegation, but lots of green is what I like to see in a plant. Because if you see lots of green, it means that the plant can photosynthesize well. So we'll see what her next leaf looks like. And I don't see one in the works yet, but this leaf is everything. And I do not want to melt it, so I'm gonna have to be very careful watering her. I got her from the North Shore Tropicals live sale, and she's very rooted in there. She had a root coming out of the bottom, but I just chopped it off to encourage more branching inside of the pot. But she's so pretty and I'm so excited. This is another anthurium that I recently took out of my tent, and she's also doing good. This one is from Woohoo Tropicals. It is an anthurium Crystal Hope crossed with a Pappy Mag. And this is her newest leaf, but she did fall over, so she's got a little bit of damage, which was my own fault. But she's still pretty, and I love how pink her new leaves come in. And then her older leaves are pretty dark, which is really cool. I really like this anthurium, but this is one that I'm trying to sell off because I just need to downsize my anthurium collection a bit because I got a whole bunch of new ones in. And yeah, it would just be nice to filter some of them out, even though I'll dearly miss them when they go. But anthurium Crystal Hope crossed with Pappy Mag. Another one that I have moved out of my tent is my anthurium Papillium Voldemort crossed with a Woo One. So this one is a pure pap. And if you guys have seen Voldemort, you know they have the big sinister ears, which are super cool. So I'm hoping to get that on my plant. We'll see what happens though. This is her newest leaf here, which is super pretty. Like, look at that. Wow. I think that that is adorable. So yeah, we have a new leaf in ambient. She has rooted very well. She's actually got a root coming out of the bottom, and she's got roots all the way around. My plants love pond and perlite and tree fern so much. The top is molding a little bit though, so I'm gonna have to give it a spray with my hydrogen peroxide solution, but I don't like to put a fan in this room because I have lots of inflows, so I don't want them to cross-pollinate each other. So I'm just gonna have to hit it with the peroxide, but I'm very happy with her and her growth since she's been out of my tent. She's doing very well. This here is the red vein dark phoenix that is my friend's that we're going to be breeding with. I just finished collecting more pollen off it last night. I do need to pot it up. It's got lots of wicked healthy roots in there. It's just in moss. I just haven't got to it yet. But you can see her inflow is getting ready to die off, and I have gotten as much pollen off of it as I can, so we'll see if she produces more. I will collect it, but I'm not too sure. We'll see. I think she's pretty much done. But I also want to give her a spray with the Fizan 20. She came to us like this, and it just kind of looks a little bit fungally to me. So I think I'm going to spray that down when I repot it, just to be safe. It might not be, it just might be shipping damage, but I don't know, we shall see. Oh, and spoiler alert, we're getting another one of these. I'm really excited. Then we can pollinate them with each other. This here is my anthurium domino, which is a variegated anthurium. I got this one from Cafeteria and Greens a long time ago. I don't know if this leaf is dying off. I think it might be, or if it's just variegated. It's hard to tell because it's not coming off. So I'm just gonna leave it. That is more what the variegation should present like, which is super pretty. So we shall see. She is in an aroid mix, which I don't like. I'm gonna take her out of that. We have a root there. So there is some roots in there, which is good, but she is a slow grower. So I'm not sure if it's her substrate, if she needs more light, which she is in quite high light right now, or what it is. So I'm gonna take her out and repot her and see how she does. This is the newest leaf on my Magnificum hybrid. Look at that color. It is so beautiful. I love it so much. She is more of like a longer, narrow Magnificum, so I'm not sure what she was crossed with, but she is definitely a unique plant in my collection. I think she's super pretty, and I really want to cross her with something cool. I'm not sure what yet, but yes. I also took her out of my tent pretty recently, and yeah, she seems to be doing well as well. I think the trick for taking anthuriums out of higher humidity and transitioning them to lower humidity is you have to make sure their root system is sufficient enough to go through that shock. I guess I can't really show you that side, but look at this. Like, she does have a lot of roots and she actually needs a repot, but I'm gonna wait until this leaf hardens off and then I will give her the repot that she needs. And then my Radlux, you guys, look at all those leaves. I pollinated her, if you remember that, and she's given me a couple berries. You see? 2 of them. I am super eager to harvest those berries, but they're not ready yet, I don't think. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave them for a couple more days. I'm going on vacation soon, so I'll probably harvest them before I leave. But I pollinated her with Crystal Mag, and yeah, apparently this plant is supposed to be really hard to pollinate, so I feel pretty grateful to have been able to accomplish that in my plant journey. And I'm gonna try to pollinate her more as well. She's got another inflow coming in here, which you can see is stuck in there. And she has an offset here, which I need to take out. And that offset has its own little inflow coming in, which is crazy. And she's got lots of roots in there. So this inflow I can separate. And then she's just growing wild. She really needs a repot as well. She's got lots of roots, but she's in this algae-ridden vessel. But I wanted to wait to see if this inflow was going to do anything before I repotted her. So I'm gonna harvest those berries, give her the repot of her dreams, take off that offset, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. Maybe I can take a couple chonk cuttings too. Oh, my varicosum, my poor varicosum. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to show you that properly though. So my varicosum got knocked over by my dog, of course, and damaged some of the new growth, and it's also in dire need of a pole extension. Let me see. I probably won't be able to show you properly, but I'm gonna try because she's so big. Yeah, I might have to lift the phone up and see. So if you guys are not familiar with Philodendron varicosum, it is a very beautiful anthurium species that is really hard to grow for a lot of people. This plant is a spider mite magnet, which I don't think I've had spider mites on mine, but I'm constantly spraying it with pest prevention, so that is probably why. But she's got these super fuzzy stems, which are really pretty. Like, look how fuzzy that is. And it's such a pretty contrast. Like, the green fuzzy stem on the red petiole is so pretty. This is the top. So this is her new growth, which you can see is damaged. And then her other leaf, which also got damaged. And this one as well got damaged, unfortunately. But she's definitely needing a pot extension because you can see, or a pole extension, because you can see she's grown off her pole. So I'm gonna have to get that done eventually here. It just hasn't been on my priority list, which I should probably put it on there because she's gonna topple over again or something. And to have a friend who wants to buy the lower part of this pole. So I wanna get that to her. And I want to see how big I can get her leaves. I was trying to keep up on these extensions, but I just could not. Moss pole extensions are hard, especially when you have a plant that has super long petioles in between Like, look at this. Look how long that is from here all the way down to there. Like, that is pretty long. But she is so pretty and I love her. My philodendron verrucosum. Okay, it's much easier for me to just sit on the floor and pull plants from my shelves, so I'm gonna do that. I have this Devon's Thai, or Devon's Aurea. It's a monstera. It came from a greenhouse in Vancouver, or just outside of Vancouver, that they called a Thai. And it's clearly not a Thai. It has more Aurea variegation. It's super pretty. I really like this plant a lot. And this is her newest leaf, which is so nice. And she's got a new one coming in the back here. So she's been growing like a weed as well. She's got roots all the way to the bottom. I don't have her on a pole. I think I'm just gonna try to stake her and see how she does. And she's got lots of aerial roots. Like you can see that one there. And this one grows all the way up. So yeah, she is living her best little life and I'm really proud of her. She's done so good. I just got her as a 1-leaf mid-cut. This one here, I think, was the cutting I got, which is super pretty. So I can't wait till she fenestrates. Maybe her next leaf she will. We shall see. And I have her in this cute little thrifted vessel that I got. Isn't that adorable? And then we have my alocasia dragon's breath. Look how pretty that is. Ugh, I love this plant so much. I traded my friend Dakota from Dakota's Plants this plant for something. I don't even remember what I sent him anymore. Oh, a couple anthuriums, I think. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But look, that was her newest leaf. She kind of got stuck when she came out, so she did get a little bit damaged, but she's still so pretty and so shiny and so big. And she has got a new leaf coming here, and I did chop a flower off of her, so she didn't grow another one, which was good. But yes, I love this plant so much. She corms very quickly and very easily, so you can usually dig in the top and find corms. She is quite well rooted in pond. You can see she's got lots of roots in there. So yeah, I'm really happy with how she's been growing for me. And I love this plant so much. It's one of my favorite alocasias, just for the shape and the color. Like, it just looks so cool. Another plant that I want to update you guys on is my monstera Burley Marks Flame. This is her newest leaf here. We don't have any fenestrations yet, but she's getting there. She's getting there. I am really excited about this plant. It actually has grown pretty quickly for me, which surprised me. It's got roots coming out of the bottom. Like, it's a really good rooter. I apologize for the noise again. I'm so sorry. But yes, so I'm gonna have to upsize her eventually, but I really wanna get her on a stake as well. I don't think I'm gonna put her on a moss pole. I've seen these grow perfectly fine with stakes. So I am going to do that. That's my goal for her. But I wanted to show you her newest leaf. She's so shiny and so pretty. And look at her cute little bowl. Isn't that sweet? I think I bought this off of Facebook plant group somewhere a long time ago. And I thought this was a cool pot for her. This is my variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. This is her newest leaf here, which just has a couple flecks of variegation on it, but she has got lots of variegation on her other leaves. So I'm curious, like, this is another pretty green one. But like I said, it's really good to have plants that have green on them as well if they're variegated, just so that they can grow better. and produce more chlorophyll. And this is her newest leaf that's coming in, which looks like it's going to be a nice one. So we shall see. But I'm super happy with how she is doing. She is, do you see roots? Oh yeah, there's a root on the bottom. I don't want to tip it too much, but you can see it right there. And I just have her in this cool glass that I found at the dollar store. I think it's super pretty and shiny. Variegated Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Okay, so I thought we would go back to the standing tripod for my top shelf and my middle shelf of my plant corner table. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to show you this, but I'm gonna try my hardest. So this is my Monstera Escalato. Her newest leaf is looking so good. She is so big. Like, look at my face. That leaf is bigger than my face. It's insane. But that's her newest leaf, and I'm really excited to see how big it's gonna get. I really need to give her a moss pole extension because she's growing off her pole, but she seems to be really happy, which I'm really excited about. She's super heavy, so I'm gonna put her down, but I just wanted to show you her new leaf. It's gonna be so big. And this is the newest leaf on my Tazula Dark Ace of Spades crossed with Oraquianum or Self, which I'm thinking might be a Self because of the leaf shape. We have a new leaf coming in, which is really exciting. And it looks like we have a flower, our first flower, which is really, really exciting. So I just potted her with this pot collar, and she's been rooting into there so nicely. Like, you can see roots all the way around, which is super cool. I just want to get her leaves facing up because they're like hanging down because they were reaching for light. So I'm gonna work on that. I did buy some things to help my plants support them a bit better, so I'm gonna be experimenting with those as well. But yes, I love her. She is a queen and no regrets. If you guys are following my Instagram, you may have seen me post about this plant recently. This is my anthurium portulae hybrid, and you can see her pink much better on camera. Her emergent is so pink. I just love it so much. It's so beautiful. This is gonna be a really cool one for the breeding program. If I can get some of those emergent colors in some other leaves. And look at the back of her. She's equally as pretty on the back, so I think that's also really cool. This is her, I think, third inflow, either second or third. So she's almost ready to be pollinated, but she does need a repot. I don't want to pollinate her in this pot she's in. And look at this cute cover pot I found at Walmart, you guys. Isn't that adorable? I love butterflies, so I had to pick this up when I saw it. Hard to show you. It's so pretty though. And she is another one that I moved out of my tent and didn't skip a beat. The more mature they are with the better root systems, the easier it is. That's some of her old leaves, so you can see the pink kind of stays at the top there, which is really cool. And then the backs of the leaves are kind of like pinky red, which is pretty as well. So yeah, she is doing so well. I'm really excited to make some hybrids with this baby. Let me know what you guys would pollinate her with, because I have no idea what I'm gonna pollinate her with. But I think I'm just gonna collect the pollen and pollinate a different plant until I repot her, because she's just in a no drainage glass vessel and I don't want to stress her out too much, and it's not even that big of a vessel. And she's another one that I put a pot collar on recently, but I don't see any roots in there, so I'm not sure how that worked out. But I can always top it off too, because there's still room for some more ponds, so we shall see. I kind of want to just let this leaf harden off, collect this pollen, and then repot her. So we shall see if she sprouts a new leaf before that. Hopefully not. And this is my begonia Lyman Smithii, which we repotted together in a video not too long ago. These are what her juvenile leaves look like, and as she matures, she loses those pretty spots, but she still has the beautiful red backs and like the orangey petioles, which is really cool. So she has fuzzy new leaf coming in, which is another really cool thing about her, is her leaves are fuzzy when they come in. And I just up-potted her into moss, and I'm seeing how she will grow in moss. I mean, you can see lots of algae, of course, but I do see some roots as well. So I think that it worked. It's hard to show you because begonia roots are so fine. But yeah, you can see one there. I think she is doing really well though in her new little up pot, and I'm gonna try to grow more begonias in straight moss and see how it goes. This one's gonna be really hard to show you, and I don't want to pick it up because it has an inflow right here that is resting on my plantedinplatinum, and it is pretty juicy right now, so I don't want to mess with her. This is my anthurium blue papillolaminum, which is super pretty. She's got another inflow coming, another leaf coming, and she just hardened off this leaf here, right here. So it's gonna be hard for you guys to see, but I just wanted to kind of give you a quick little update. And I'm gonna collect this pollen, wait for this leaf to harden, and then there's another inflow. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I might chop it off because I wanna repot her. She's also in a no drainage glass vessel, and I wanna pollinate her, so if I give her a bigger pot, let her root system fill out, then she'll be ready to be pollinated. I wanted to show you guys the cute little new leaf on my forgetii. Look how round that is. It's literally so round. So cute. So this is a forgetii that has some silver on it, but it's also quite dark as well. So I just want to repot this one eventually because I don't like to do the no drainage for my anthuriums anymore, and see how she grows out. She was a big beautiful plant, and then she just decided to croak on me one day. So I have a couple pieces of her in my collection still, and I just wanted to grow them out and then repot them and see what we can do. Can never have too many forgetii. So I think now's a good time to check in on all of these begonia props. So we'll do them one by one. This one I can see is doing swell. It's actually hitting the roof. So this is a prop of my begonia Dragea Malmo that I wanted to take in case that other one didn't work out for me, which it almost didn't. Thankfully it started growing again, but I think I'm gonna sell this one off or trade it. It is doing so well in there, my little parsley begonia. Yeah, she's got her own little planty inside of this tree fern and pawn. So maybe I'll take this one to the plant market with me when I go in the fall. She's doing so well, but I think I might take another pot this size and put it on top, just like this. Show you. Just like this, to give her some more space to grow. And then we'll see how that does. So I'm gonna leave this to the side and then tape it and put it back. And then we have some of the variegated, why can't I remember the name of that? Begonia. Anyways, variegated begonia props, which we should check on. And these ones actually had variegated leaves. Okay, so this one has no new growth, but the leaf is still alive and healthy and well. You can see it does have some variegation on it, so we'll cross our fingers that this one stays variegated, but no new growth as of yet. So maybe these ones just take a while to prop because they're variegated. I'm not sure. Never done it before. I've propagated lots of begonias, but not variegated begonias. Oh, this one has a new little growth. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to see, but there is a little tiny leaf at the bottom there, growing at the base of the plant. Cute. And then she has her variegation at the top here. So sweet. I'm glad one of them is going off. And the variegated, oh my goodness, the new leaf is half variegated. It's gonna be so hard to show you, and I don't think you're gonna be able to see. No, you're not. Oh yeah, you kind of can. Do you see that new little leaf at the very top? Right there is half white. Sweet, that's exciting. I'm gonna have to show my friend. And then we have this one, which has also got some variegated new growth on it. Woohoo, we did it. You see that at the base? That little cluster of flowers right there. Some of them are variegated. Yay. I'm so glad because the mama plant reverted, but she is pretty. I'm gonna have to chop her up again. Oh, wow. It's exciting to check in on these. I have not checked in on them in a hot minute. So we have one that kind of melted and one with new growth. And it's hard to see, but it might be variegated. It does look like it's a bit colorful, but you see this? It looks like it has maybe a bit of white or pink on it. And then this kind of melted, but I don't know, it might stay alive. We shall see. So that's cool. I'm really excited about those begonia props. That was the last one, so I'm just gonna put those back and we'll move along. So this here is my begonia Dracopelta that we potted into pon, and it is taking off. Look how cute that is. And it even has like the cutest little flowers. Oh my goodness. One of these days I'm gonna learn how to cross-pollinate begonias, and then we'll have a little begonia farm going on too. But like, that is so sweet. And these leaves are so cool. I just love them. They look poisonous. But it's just in this tiny little cup, so I might add a stake to it just to support it and let her grow because she's getting a bit top heavy. But I'm happy that that worked out. I actually had one in an aeroid mix that I sold off because I saw this one was doing so well. I'm surprised they both took, so that was good. Begonia Dracopelta. This is one of my other Monstera elbows. So we started off with this leaf, which I'm trying to get a nice half moon plant. And we also have this all green leaf, this little teeny tiny all green leaf. We have this one here, which is super pretty. We have this one, which is all green, and then we've got this one. So I don't know if this is gonna be the half moon Monstera of my dreams. I mean, I can always take a cutting right here and see how the new growth comes in, but I'm gonna wait for a couple more leaves just to see how it does. But I have one in my tent that's actually pretty half moony. So I'll show you guys that one when I do a tent update, but this is the newest leaf on my Monstera elbow, and it's just got that tiny patch of white at the top, but we also have roots coming out of the bottom. So I'm gonna have to repot her. I kind of don't want her in the aeroid mix anyways. I kind of want to put her into pon and tree fern maybe, or just pon. We shall see, but we love her. This is another super heavy one, but I wanted to show you her newest leaf. Oh my goodness. So this is my Pappy hybrid that I bought from Northern Plant Room, who got it from North Shore Tropicals. And I recently seen in our Canada anthurium plant group, in one of them, somebody posted one that was very similar to this, and she calls it the Thai butterfly pap, just the name she made up for it, and she also got it from NST, so maybe it's the same one. Hers is a clone, mine is a self seed. But look at that wide sinus, you guys. Like, that is everything. It's so pretty. And this is going to be such a big leaf. And this is her second inflow. I accidentally broke off the first one. And she is in a big pot, so I'll be able to pollinate her. Look how pretty those leaves are, though. Like, super wide sinuses. I think that that's adorable. It does look like a butterfly, doesn't it? And she has got roots coming out of the bottom. Oh, there you go, you can kind of see. So I think she'll be ready to get pollinated. What do you guys think? What do you think I should pollinate her with? She's so pretty. I have no idea. I'll have to do some thinking. And my Begonia dindui is another one that I uppotted into moss. She also is doing well. She's just growing wild. Like, her growth pattern is so crazy, but she has got the prettiest leaves ever. I'm obsessed. Like, that is just something else. And the backs of the leaves, like, hello, so pretty and red. And her new leaves come in super cute, kind of like minty green, which is really pretty. And she has these pretty pink flowers, you guys. Look how pretty those are. They remind me of pinguicula flowers. Just super cute. And she has like these pinky orange petioles, which is really sweet too. I have no idea how to support her though. I think I might find like a cone or something just to prop her up a bit in the pot so her leaves aren't splayed out. Like something just to put around the bottom of the pot just to keep her upright a bit, because she is just growing in all directions. She has so many leaves. And I could probably propagate her again soon, but I still haven't sold off all of my other Begonia dindui props, so we shall see. But like, look how pretty. And she has been rooting up really nicely in this moss as well. You can't see because there's so much algae, but there are roots in there, I promise. Begonia dindui. This is one of my holiday cactuses. I grew her from a one little paddle. I have no idea which holiday cactus she is. She has not bloomed for me yet. But look at her pretty new growth. Comes in like super pink, which is really cool. And yeah, she's just been growing so good. I need to find a new spot for her because she was just sitting in my windowsill, but I think I might put her upstairs. She is so gorgeous. I have, I think, just 2 Christmas cactuses, and both of them were gifted to me. This one was gifted to me by an old friend who I haven't seen for a very long time, but she was one of my first plant friends, so it's nice to see her doing so well. Maybe I'll have to send her an update. She will be surprised. She's so pretty. And like the little hairs that come off of the new leaves, like that's so cute. I think I'm gonna leave her out too. I wanna put her somewhere where I can see her better. Clear some space on the windowsill. Another windowsill plant I have is my alocasia scalprum that took forever to grow back. But you can see her, she's really pretty. She almost looks like my Radlux actually, which is interesting. But yeah, she's a really cool alocasia. She was big and beautiful one day, and then I chopped her back or repotted her or something. I think I repotted her. This leaf looks kind of crappy. I'm gonna take it off. But I repotted her and she just didn't grow back for like ever. So I think she dropped her leaves and just refused. And this is her newest leaf coming in. So, and then look at the backs. Like that purple is so pretty. I cannot wait till she's a big, beautiful plant again one day. I gotta get her out of this situation, but I'm scared to take her out. I don't want her to not grow for me again. So we shall see. I think I might take her out and repot her though and to drain it. No, I'll keep her in no drainage, but I don't like these pots with the lips because she'll get stuck in there and then that's hard. If you guys see me struggle to take my KOS out of its pot, that's what I mean. So, my beautiful King of Spades has a new leaf coming. Look, and it's so pretty, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this plant. It's gonna be such a big leaf. Like, look at the petiole, pretty big. And it looked like she was trying to flower in here and then it aborted. Yeah, darn. Well, that's okay, that happens. It looks like there's a flower coming out of that petiole as well, if you can see. Maybe that's a flower, we shall see. But I'm really excited to update you guys on how big this leaf gets. Like if it's bigger than this one, I'll be so excited. This is another one that I took out of my grow tent, kind of recent, not super recent though. So we shall see how big it gets. This one grew in ambient. This was the first leaf in ambient, and I chopped off a lot of her older leaves because they were just not looking so hot. Trying to make some space and not stare at ugly leaves. And my crystal mag. This one has a really, really beautiful pinky purple emergent. I am obsessed with this plant. Has a flower. I'm not gonna pollinate it, but I am gonna collect the pollen. This is one that I kept just for breeding purposes, and she also is doing very well. We repotted her a long time ago, chopped off most of her roots, and if you guys can't see that, like she has rooted in there so, so good. Hard to show you these ones. So yeah, if you chop roots off, it's fine. They're gonna grow back. It's fine. If you want to fit her into a smaller pot, chop the roots off. Not all of them, but it's not going to kill your plant. I can't wait till she has an emergence so I can actually show you guys what I mean. She is pushing a leaf here, so that's exciting. I'll get to show you guys soon. I'm surprised at the size of that inflow though, and that is a big inflow. My plantedinplatinum is supporting my, oh my goodness, what's that? Leaf? My plantedinplatinum is supporting my blue paps inflow. So I'm not going to take the plantedinplatinum off to show you guys, but she's giving me a new leaf and maybe an inflow. I don't know if that's an inflow or not. It kind of looks like it's coming from the petiole or sheath. And we have a new leaf at the top. So I'm pretty sure that's an inflow. Pretty sure. But anyways, I want to show you guys a repot that I just did. So you guys, I repotted my NSE red crystal crossed with luxurians, and I have 2 chonk cuttings from it. So I hope that they grow, and I hope this roots up nicely. I just have her in tree fern and pond, and her roots, you can see one in there. Maybe not. Yeah, it's under that leaf. But her roots weren't looking like the greatest, but they weren't like completely dead or anything either. They just looked like they needed some help. So I got her out of her no drainage, which I'm very happy to finally have done. And like that leaf still has not hardened off yet. It's so pretty. And this is her older leaf, which just hardened off. But she was ready to come out of that no drainage vessel. And I was really happy to take some cuttings of her as well. So yeah, that is an exciting repot that I just did. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'll keep you guys posted on her as well. She's so pretty. Like, look at the back of the leaf. You can definitely see that red crystal in there. So stunning. This here is my anthurium pendens from Charmaine on Plant Parenthood. So nice to have her back on YouTube. I missed watching her. So Charmaine, if you're watching, hi. And she's just been growing a lot of leaves too. She's browning off a lot at the tip of the leaf, so I think I might be watering her too much. But she might need a repot too, because she does have a root all the way to the bottom there, if you can see that. So I don't know, maybe I'm keeping her too wet. I know that this plant particularly grows off of trees, so it might not need too much water. Hard to figure plants out sometimes, but it's so worth it when you do. This is such a pretty pendant shaped leaf. I love it so much. And I think it has two plants in here actually. If you look, there's two different stems. See? Which is cool. So she'll be a nice, big, luscious, beautiful plant one day. This is the newest leaf on my red crystal crossed with pink lemonade that I recently got. I showed you guys this in my last video. And she is getting bigger, but I did bump her, so I think I damaged her a bit at the top, but that's okay. She's still so pretty regardless. I am so, so shook to have this plant. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be such a stunner. Just wanted to give you a quick little update on her new leaf. She's looking great. And look at this. Oh my freaking God. Oh, we have a little offshoot coming in at the bottom. Friends, I am so happy. Okay, let's start with the new leaf. There's lots of updates on this plant. So this is my Dorayaki crossed with Clarinervium from Plantito on Instagram, my friend Dennis. And he creates some beautiful hybrids. Like, look at that. When it hardens off, it is so beautiful. Like, that is insane. I was so excited to get this hybrid. This is supposed to be a hybrid that you can't make, but he made it. And look at that. We have a little bitty inflow, the first one coming up, and it's so tiny. Oh my goodness, so tiny. I love that. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you this, friends, but oh, maybe. Oh yes, see, look at those little baby leaves at the base. We have an offset. And I need to repot this out of no drainage. I want to give it its own nice little pot, and I think I might throw my other Clarinervium in the garbage or just rehome it, probably just rehome it, because that one drives me nuts. I can't seem to grow it properly, and I'm just kind of falling out of love with it. And this one can be its replacement because yes, that is amazing. I love it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this plant. That is a huge leaf. It's growing really well for me. It has an offshoot, its first little inflow. So we shall see how this grows, but this is definitely one of my top favorites in my plant room. I sure love watching this one grow. Like, those new emergents come in super pink and then they harden off to this. Oh my goodness. Slay, little plant queen. Love her. Then for Wrens, we have this little cutie. So this is the Forgetii Silver Open. Yes, that I bought from a North Shore Tropicals live sale. This plant was hybridized by Alice. You don't even grow here, and it was growing in ambient, so I decided to keep it in ambient. And look at the newest little leaf. Like, how cute is that? Look at the little ripples on the sides. What is that? Did it get stuck coming out, or is it just going to be some weirdo shaped plant? Now I'm very curious, and that is a pretty emergent. It's like pinky. So cute. Let's see what the root situation is like. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have roots coming out of the bottom, friends. So we're gonna have to repot this one, I think, after the leaf hardens off. Oh, I don't want to squish that leaf. Perfect. But yes, that is cute. And I can't wait to give you guys an update on that. Another update. Okay, so this is an update on my anthurium eminens. This was the newest leaf that it gave me. Look at all those cool fingers. It kind of reminds me of the baker eye, but like with fingers, which is cool. I love this plant. And look at the new leaf. They come in so stinking cute. That is amazing. And it has 5 fingers on it. The last one had 4. So we started out with one of these and then a 3-leafer right here. And then, oh, we also had another one of those 1 leaves on there right here. And this one actually the leaf broke, so I taped it and it worked. That was a long time ago. And then we got a bigger 3-leaf right here. And then we got this 4-leaf. And now we are getting this 5-leafed little babe. Oh my goodness. I'm actually stoked about this. And there's something coming out of here. I don't know if that's a flower, which it kind of looks like it because it's from the previous leaf. Interesting. So if this flowers, I can repot this, which has roots to the bottom. And eventually we can try and make a hybrid with it. That'd be fun. It's like my little umbrella plant. I love it. It's so jungly looking. And then my philodendron bicolor, which I potted into tree fern and pond a while ago, has started to finally grow. We got a new leaf coming in there. It has, do we have roots? Yeah, we have a root right there. You see that pinky root? It goes to a green root. So I'm really glad that this one actually worked out for me. I was a bit nervous about it, but seems to be doing good. And this one has the red undersides of the leaf and the pink margin around the leaf, which you probably won't be able to see because that is extremely hard to show you. Yeah, no, but it does. You have to trust me. So I'm excited about that new leaf, and eventually I want to get her onto a moss pole, I'm thinking. I'm not sure. Do you guys have this plant? And if you have it on a stake, let me know if it's upsizing its leaves, please. This is my Anthurium magnificum. Isn't it pretty? I think this is a Self Magnificum by my friend Alexis over at yogiblossom.va. It's got some really cool leaves. This is another one I recently took out of my plant room, and it seems to be doing pretty good for the most part. It's getting a little bit of crispiness, but it's also got an inflow. So there's another inflow in the hood, and this one looks like it's starting to do something. It's starting to produce some stigmatic fluid. You can see it. You twist it. See those droplets, the sparklies? Yeah, so that's cool. And then there's another inflow coming up right there. Unless actually, that might be no, that is an inflow. And then there is another inflow coming right there. So we're gonna be able to repot her soon and also make some hybrids with this babe. She's so pretty. I love her. Anthurium magnificum crossed with Self. And then this is my dark forgetti crossed with dark phoenix. And you guys, I love this plant so much. It is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. This one was done by Hector at the Urban Foliage, and he got a cross out of this one with a few sinus and very minimal veinings. I'm pretty sure it was this one. It could have been the back cross, or the reverse cross. But look at that. It's so dark and beautiful. I love this plant. It's so pretty. It's like my little gothic black plant. It's almost black. And it has its second inflow, which is exciting, but I desperately need to repot it out of this no drainage vessel. So that is another one on the to-do list. I have been doing some repotting slowly, but it is hard to keep up with the repotting when the plants just grow so fast. If you know, you know. I'm gonna take that off so it doesn't damage the new leaf. So that is that shelf. So now we can move on, okay, to my little plant table. This is my begonia with Lacucci, or begonia Brazilian lady. She has just grown so long and beautiful. Her leaves are so pretty. I love them. The backs are red, which is so cool. And she is just an interesting trailing begonia. She's almost like iridescent. It's really hard to show you guys. But yeah, she's almost iridescent looking, and she's just getting so long. And I have her in this like wonky pink pot I found at the thrift store. I think this one came from the thrift store, but it's so cool. But she does need a repot out of this tiny little vessel, so we're gonna have to put that on the list as well. I recently chopped her up and sold a bunch of pieces of her. I do have a couple left. If anyone's interested in a trade, let me know. But yeah, she is something else. She just sits on my shelf by my Lux and just trails down looking so pretty. Begonia with Lacucci. And the name. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, this one's going to be super hard to show you, and I haven't got the lighting right because it's really hard. So, this is the big luxurians. This was the leaf she put out, not her recent leaf, but the one before, and it is literally so big. It's crazy. But then we have a new leaf. If I can get around and show you. We have this new leaf here that just came out, which is also stunning. It's hard to see. I'm so sorry about the lighting. And then this is a pollinated inflow. We pollinated it with something really special. It's a collab with NXC Plants. And this is my friend Jems's plant. I'm just growing it. So it's gonna take a while because luxurians take like a year to produce berries. So I'm not telling you what it is, but I'm really excited and I can't wait to share it with you. And then we have a new inflow coming in here, so I can collect pollen off of this to make some more luxurians hybrids, which is really exciting because my other baby luxurians isn't doing so well. So I'm really excited about the new inflow and about the new leaf and about this hybrid, which is going to be super exciting. She is a beast, and once she's done, I'm gonna repot her, which is not gonna be for a really long time, but she is also in a very big pot as well. Okay guys, the last area of my plant room is this corner here. So I have lots of exciting things to show you. I'm gonna start off with my little seedlings that I potted up. I'm so excited for these. This is my first cross that actually worked out, so that's really special for me. I did a collab with my friend, so this half is mine, and I potted up her half to give to her. But these are my little Mag Forgetii crossed with luxurian seedlings. And look, it's dripping. Let me see here. Look how cute. That's one of them. That's another one of them. They're looking so cute. I'm so excited about them. I'm not going to release any of these until they grow out a bit. I want to see what they look like. So adorable. They look so different. Like some of them have different characteristics, which is really exciting. So adorable. This one here is interesting. Look at that. Kind of looks like a fused sinus from the get-go. We shall see though. And there's that one. Really round and chubby. And then a little baby. This container lid is piling up with water. Oh my goodness. Okay. And then this is the last one that I have potted here, which is nice and dark. And then, let me put this down. And then I have some still just cropping that I haven't separated. There's some seeds in here and just some baby ones. So cute. I'm so excited for these. They're going to be so much fun to watch grow. Yay. And then in this tote are my Hoyas from a trade that I did a while back. And I need to pot them up, so I think I might do that in a video coming up. It's hard to see them. This is the Wyetii. And oh, I don't see any roots in that one. But if we pull on it, it's rooted. This is the AH074, and it has roots to the bottom. This is the Colina IR26, and I don't see any roots in this one either, but if we pull on it, you can tell it has roots. That's called the tug test. This is the Halconensis, which is the one I think might be my favorite. It's so pretty. It looks like a leaf. Like, I love that. And it is very well rooted in there. And the last one is the Hanhai Pink. Which is super pretty and has really pretty pink flowers. And this one, I don't see any roots either, but oh yeah, there's a root there. There's a root right there. But doing the tug test, you can tell it's rooted. So this is one that I've had in my collection before, but I never got to bloom. So this time I'm gonna try to get it to bloom. This is another one of my pretty Hoyas from my friend Sierra. Look how pretty. It's the Hoya Polynera Brogée, and it's just been growing like crazy. And look at those roots. Just crazy. There's even roots coming out of the bottom. It's so pretty. I feel so grateful to have a beautiful Polynera Brogée because my original one wasn't growing for me the greatest. I mean, it's growing now, of course, but this one is just to die for. Those leaves are so big. Like, look at that. She is a Hoya Polynera queen. And this one's gonna be hard to show you, but I'm gonna do my best. This is the newest leaf on my Quaramalense. It's so pretty and so big. This plant gets so big. It's crazy. So beautiful. I chopped a couple of the older leaves off just for space reasons. I'm gonna have to repot this one and figure out what to do with it because it's just so big. This one is my Amedrium Mint. No, this is my Amedrium Silver, and it's giving me a new leaf, which is really exciting. This plant hasn't grown for me in so long, so that is really exciting news. This here is my friend's Mag Pap, which is gonna be way too big to show you guys. But look at that huge leaf, like it's massive. And we currently have an inflow that is working on some stigmatic fluid. So that's fun, we can pollinate that. And we have a new leaf, yay. I wonder how big that's gonna get. Like this oldest leaf or the newest leaf that it's given me since this new little leaf that's coming in is massive. So huge. Like it's probably the size of my torso. I'm not even sure. It's big though. This is another repot that I have recently done. This is my No ID from my friend Emma at Two Little Monsteras. This is a No ID that I want to keep because I just like the look of it. I don't like to usually keep my No IDs, but that's pretty, really pretty. So, and dark. And she's working on a new leaf, which is exciting. So we shall see how that goes. I literally just did this repot a couple days ago, so there's no new roots, but yeah, she's gonna be a stunner. And this is another repot that I did. This is my Dock Block F2. I was not liking the way it was growing and it was in no drainage, so I took it out of no drainage. The newest leaf looks pretty wonky, but it has another leaf or a flower. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's a flower coming out of there. So hopefully it gives me a leaf because we don't need a flower right now, that's for sure. But I took 2 stem cuttings from her as well. So if this doesn't work out, we always have backups. So it's nice to be able to have backups of plants that are really special to you. I really like this one and I want to make some hybrids with it one day, but I've just been having issues with it. But I do think my issues come from having it in no drainage for so long. So hopefully that's what it is. I did chop her older leaves off. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a new leaf here and this is gonna be a flower. This here is my beautiful, newly repotted Alocasia Gagiana aurea, or Adora Gagiana aurea. I think it's been reclassified a couple times. I love her so much. Like that leaf is so pretty. Oh my goodness. And you guys, I wanted to show you her because look how good she's rooting in that pond. That is insane. I mean, she had some wicked water roots when I put her in here, but whoa. That is lovely. And she just gave me this leaf here, which is the Polaroid variegation. It's gonna be so hard to show you. So you can kind of see the variegation on it, but it'll be more prominent once the leaf hardens off. And she's got this leaf, which is so pretty. Oh, I love this plant. And then she's got her nice green leaf, which is kind of yellowing off a bit actually. But her stem is super variegated, mostly on this side here. You can see it better. So that's really exciting. I think that she's gonna be a very beautiful big plant one day. She's gonna get big like my Okinawa silver. I can feel it. This here is my philodendron gigas. So she is looking okay. She's looking pretty good actually on camera. This is her newest leaf here, but I do need to refill her moss pole. She has a bit to go to the top, so I'm gonna do that. She is attached to her pole and she's growing quite nicely. It's gonna be hard to show you the roots in this because she has lots of algae, but let's see if we can see any. Not really, hey. That's okay. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys her and her new little leaf that's coming out. I want to see how big it's gonna get. She hasn't really sized up too much. Like, I mean, she has sized up, but like her OG leaf is this one down here. This is the leaf that I bought her with. Like, look how big that is. I'm obsessed with Nick's NXC plants. If you guys saw his recent upload about his terrarium, oh my goodness, he has like a black one in there. It's so pretty. I would love for mine to get that dark. But look, the new leaves come in a pretty like coppery orangey color, which is so nice. I love it. And my alocasia tanderusa is one that we also just took out of soil and tried to reroot. And she is rerooting, so that's good. She's been a bit slower than my other ones, but that's okay. She's doing good. She's got some healthy roots coming, so I'm not mad about it. I'm just gonna leave her water rooting for a bit longer and I'll pot her up into pond when she's ready. You guys, look at this Dendui prop that I have. This is one that I haven't sold yet. It's so pretty and so big, and it's flowering too, and it's got some dead flowers I can take. But yeah, she is just living her best life. But do you see how like she's super low in the pot, and then the taller the pot is, it kind of supports her stems a bit better? That's what I want to do with my one that I have somehow, but I'm gonna have to make a cone for it or something. But it's so pretty. I just had to show you guys. She's a stunner. We should do an update on my little corms for my alocasia corm prop video. Ugh, so wet. So I have all of the corms except for 2 of my alocasia tanderusa corms. I gave those to my cousin because she came up to visit me, which was so sweet of her. And she wanted that plant, so I gave her both of those corms and told her good luck. They're pretty small, but good luck. So this one here has my Regal Shields and my Brancifolia Pink Passion corms. So I would say the Regal Shields are doing the best. Like, this is probably the best one here. You can see it's starting to sprout and it has roots all over. Oh, I also sold my Odora Gagiana aurea as well. But this is my Regal Shields. So that one's gonna pop soon, which is exciting. And I have my Brancifolia Pink Passions, but they are taking a bit slower to pop. Like, let me see. They still just look like corms. They don't really have any roots. So we'll see if those pop. They might not. We shall see. They're still firm, so that's good. They're just a little bit longer, I think. Some corms take longer than others, and that's fair. But all my Regal Shields are doing so well. Like, I have 3 or 4 of them that are this big with like the leaf coming out and lots of roots. So that's pretty promising. I might be able to take those to my plant market in the fall. I should be able to, actually. They're just doing so good. I just had to give you guys a little update on them. That was such a huge corm harvest. Oh my goodness. But that's all I'm gonna show you out of this one. And then we'll go into the other one. But I think my Regal Shields, out of all of the corms that I propagated, I think that those ones are doing the best. I'm so excited for my variegated bambino corms. Oh my goodness. I'm not letting go of any of those until they all pop. I want to see what the variegation looks like. Those are in this tote. Yeah, I don't see any new leaf growth yet, but we can take a look together. If I can get the lid off. So this one here looks the best. And this is my Bambino variegated. I love how they have purple roots. You probably won't be able to see that. No. But this one here looks the best. So that's exciting. I don't see any roots inside of it. But the other ones just look like black blobs. I have one Tanderusa left, but it's super tiny. I don't even know if that's gonna do anything, honestly. It's still hard, so it might, but it's tiny. So we shall see. But all my other Bambino variegated, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 of them. And they're all just starting to root. You can see them just starting. So yeah, that'll be exciting to see when those pop. I'm so excited to do an update video with you guys about that. That'll be fun. Okay, I do have some Scindapsus I wanted to update you guys on. So this one here is my Scindapsus tattoo. How pretty is that? This is one of my favorite Scindapsus. I don't know if this comes variegated, but imagine, oh my, like if the little tattoo marks were like white or something, that'd be cool. And this is her newest leaf. You can see the little tattoo marks and it's quite big. I want to get this one on a pole eventually, I think, or a stake. I don't know, maybe a pole. And see her size up because this is literally one of my favorite alocasias. I mean, Scindapsus. I love it so much. And this one here is my variegated one from my friend Leanne, Holistic Falconry over at Instagram. It is so beautiful. Like, wow. She has no idea what it is, but it's so pretty. I love it. So variegated. I gotta get this one on a pole eventually too, but it has a little ways to go yet still. Oh, it has a new leaf coming out right there. How cute. It's like a minty almost. Well, maybe not. The new leaf looks minty though. So pretty. And then I have this, which I think might be, yeah, this one is my Scindapsus platinum. So this one's just growing in moss. I need to take it out of here. It's been in here for so long. But it's doing okay. It's doing okay. It's just growing slow. Maybe it's because it's so silver. I'm not sure. Do you guys have this one? If you do, does it grow slow or fast? Probably fast once it gets established. But it's so pretty. So silver. And then I have my waxy silver hero, which definitely needs to go on a pole. And look how pretty it is. I love this. This is like your silver hero, but waxy, like glossy. It's so cool. This one is one of my favorites. I love all the Scindapsus that I showed you. I almost bought a Scindapsus, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it, but I almost bought another Scindapsus, the Mayari, the variegated one, but I held back. I need to take care of my Scindapsus I have first before I buy another Scindapsus, because look at that sad thing. It's happy, but it needs a pole. So I'm gonna put these back, and then I have, I think, a couple more things to show you guys. Okay, I have 2 more things to show you guys, and then that will be it for my plant room updates. Took a while. So this is my Cryptosperma johnstonii, and this one is quite interesting. Quite interesting. It does not want to grow properly for me. It keeps crisping the tips, but it's so pretty. Look at that. So if you guys have any care tips for me, let your girl know. I'm not letting it dry out, and I also have it warm. So that's what I heard was good for it, but I don't know. See? Poor thing. But yeah, I have her in, she's rooted well. Look at that, holy. She's rooted very well. So I just have her in an aeroid mix with a reservoir, and I just keep her constantly moist. So maybe I'm keeping her too moist. I'm not too sure, but I really like her, and I want her to grow up and be big and happy and healthy. Maybe I'll put her in pond and see how she does in pond. But that will be for another day. I think that this little one is an offset, so I might separate that so that I have something to work with in case the pond doesn't work, which it probably will, but just to be safe. But it's so pretty. Then I took a cutting of my begonia Julau, and it's so pretty not to show you. I have to show you guys this. This is another one I think I'm gonna bring to the market with me. Look how pretty. Like the new leaves, eventually as they mature, they get silver instead of pink, but the baby leaves are pink. So I always just keep chopping it because I like the pinker leaves more than the silver leaves, and I love growing babies of it. And this one can be grown in ambient, but I've never tried mine in ambient. Maybe that's another project I should do, but I've heard people have great success with it. But look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness. I just love that. All right, you guys, that's it from me for today. Thank you so much for joining me for my plant room updates. That was so much fun. If you are a real one, leave me a bell emoji to let me know you watched to the very end. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what new updates you have for everybody, any new plants you've gotten, any advice you have for me with any of my plants, or anything at all. I would love to chat with you in the comments. If you are looking for more content from me, you can head over to TikTok or Instagram. I am plantedinplatinum. Mostly post on Instagram, but occasionally I post on TikTok as well. So you can head over there if you'd like to see some more content from me. I try to post as much as I can. And that is it for me for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!